We need all we can get right now.
Oh, dude, I'm on the verge of shaving my head. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
That was like one like bad thing that I just forgot was like, hey, you know, when this thing first started, I probably should have like just went and got a haircut while I still could.
Yeah.
I just didn't even think of it.
No, I didn't.
Dude.
Should have booked a haircut like early on in quarantine and we would have been in a whole different situation. But here we are. Anyway, speaking of here we are, welcome to Quarantine Conversations. Here we are with your friend and mine, Mr. Michael Barker. And I was thinking about this. You were the first podcast guest ever.
Yeah, that was fun.
You started the whole RHCC High School Podcast. Now look at us.
Dude.
We're quarantined.
We're quarantined and we're like just, you know, way more in on what it means to be a podcast.
Oh yeah. That's my life right now. Just figuring out what it means to be a podcast.
Yeah. So I can say like, I'm a friend of the podcast.
Oh,
like,
easily.
I can say that.
Yeah. You might have the most like the most reason to say friend of the podcast.
Friend of the pod.
Students know that, you know, if you've been on the podcast once, you're a friend of the pod. If you're the inaugural guest on the podcast, oh my gosh, you might be like best man of the pod.
Oh, dude, I'm just feeling so honored right now.
Yeah. Welcome.
I should give a speech.
Best man. Yeah. Like ding, ding, ding. All right. Well, hey, I'm the best man of the pod. Have you ever been best man at a wedding?
Bro, let me tell you something.
Let's hear it.
I've been the best man 7 times.
I love how you had that just offhand. What does it mean to be the best man? Like, how do you be the best man?
Well, you know, you give lots of speeches and you don't reuse them. You can't do that. That wouldn't be
no way. No way.
Second best. That would be second tier.
JV.
So, you give speeches.
Uh-huh.
And they have to be semi-funny because people, you know, generally get tired of best man speeches.
For sure.
But not too obnoxious because most best man speeches are like super obnoxious.
Yeah,
you know,
I hear that.
Like the whoever the maid of honor is comes up and says something super gut wrenching, and then the best man's up there like just obnoxious. So
yeah.
You know, you don't want to be too obnoxious, and then you just plan a really good bachelor party that, you know, they'll just remember.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. It's expensive being the best man. Right? Like,
dude, let me tell you how many H&M runs I've made in my day.
H&M. You got Friar's Tux. You got to do the Airbnbs. You got to get all the food and stuff. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not one of those best men that leaves after the wedding, you know, and lets everyone else clean up.
No.
No way, Jose.
I think I've been in one wedding and it was like a legit, you know, at a venue and stuff. But my wife was in a wedding, Megan, you know, she was in a wedding a couple years ago where it was like in a backyard and they kind of said like, hey, you know, all of the bridal party should stay and clean up. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then as I like told people that, they're like, oh no, that's very customary. And I was like, oh, I'm in the wrong here for thinking that's not customary. So once I heard that, I was like very eager to help clean up, but I was like, they're just looking for free labor. And now it's like, no, that's customary thing to do. Like you should stay and help. And I'm like, okay, there you go.
Oh yeah, that's what you do.
That's what you do
when you're the best man.
The best man of the podcast, Michael Barker. Well, anyway, dude, how are you doing?
You know, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
You know, I was rewatching David Krall's podcast.
Yeah.
And he was talking about just working from home with the boys at home and Kelsey and him both at home. And man, like I just resonate with that. It's definitely like not slower. Mm-hmm. Well, it kind of is. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's slower, but not necessarily like less stressful, you know? And so it feels like it's more stressful. It's more intense because you're doing things a different way than you would normally do them.
Right.
But there are definitely like moments that are slower. So I don't know. It's been gnarly. The kids are always running in and out, and it feels like either they're screaming or they're making a mess. So I'm either having to like, you know, deal with screaming babies or like clean up something that spilled over and over again.
Right. So for those of us who don't know, what's the breakdown of your house right now? Like who's all there?
All right. So right now it's myself and my wife, Caitlin, and then my youngest daughter, Lennon, who's almost 2 at the end of May. And then my older daughter, Mylan, who's 4, just turned 4. And then Caitlin's sister, Morgan, is living in the back room and watches the kids. Well, we'll watch the kids during the day while we're working. And then but they're still running around crazy. So,
right.
But we are fortunate to have
Truly.
her there.
Yeah,
sure.
That's huge. Is Caitlin working from home?
Yeah.
That's great. So the whole family's there. Whole family's there. Man, that's awesome. How has so your job is, being a worship leader mostly. I mean, you have a lot of other duties, but a lot of your jobs are like Saturday night, Sunday morning. And now that's not a thing. So tell me about the transition into like, how do you work from home? What do you do to work from home? And how do worship pastors work from home?
Honestly, that's a question I'm still figuring out, man. I think, so what I've been doing is, a lot of songwriting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome.
And just kind of trying to take space to slow down and to pray and to think, and to kind of get my mind going. Not just kind of, I feel like, in moments where you feel like your schedule just frees up, I know that the temptation for me is to go to entertainment,
right?
To go to, kind of Netflix or, to just kind of find something, a puzzle or whatever,
right? Something
that's just going to kind of get me through the day.
Right.
So I don't go bored out of my mind.
Right. Yeah.
And I think what I've been trying to figure out is how to spend my time wisely with God.
That's good.
But not just, wisely is not even the right word. How to just enjoy being with him.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I think this season, I think many people might look at this season as a curse, and it is. I don't want to take that away from it. I think for many it is a curse. It's a big curse for most of us.
Right.
But at the same time, I think I'm trying to find the blessing in it. I'm trying to find the Sabbath, the sabbatical that is kind of forced, the forced Sabbath that's in it. And instead of taking it as a forced kind of time of boredom, what if it was instead a forced time with God?
Yeah, for sure.
And so there have been, some good moments of songwriting, a couple moments of prayer, good moments of Rachel and I did an Instagram live, my first Instagram live.
Woo-woo! How'd it go? Bro, did it go well?
I thought it went well. We had 200 people that viewed it, which is more than I would have expected.
Isn't that always funny how that happens?
Yeah, it was really cool. And I don't know if any of you guys listening know kind of how bad I am with technology. But Hunter knows.
Yes.
I've been off of Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and none of those things.
Just actively not participating in these things, right?
Oh yeah. I know what TikTok is, so I'm not that far off.
Yeah.
But I just haven't been actively participating. I used to have a Facebook back in college, but I got rid of one probably 7 years ago.
Okay.
So when Instagram first came out, I had it, I liked it, and then what I found was that I just spent way too much time on it, and what it felt like is that I was living my life through a camera lens instead of actually living my life.
Totally.
I was on my honeymoon and I was trying to get the best shots ever. And I just realized what is the point in this? I'm not actually engaging with my wife right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take a picture of a mountain. So, so I got off Instagram and everything about 8 years ago. And so when I heard that you could go live and live stream from Instagram with one button,
broadcast. It's huge.
My mind was blown. So that being said, we did it, and it was, I don't know how many of you have seen the worship drummer fail where the tree keeps falling on him. Have you seen that one yet, Hunter?
No.
Oh my gosh, bro, you got to look up worship fail.
I'll find it.
It's like the Ocean's drummer. That's all over again.
That's a all time. That's a top 5 of all time video.
Yeah. So it's like this tree just keeps falling on this guy, and he keeps trying to fix it, and then it falls again.
I have a million questions.
So it happened to me. I was in the middle of playing a song and my phone just goes, and then I fixed it and it fell again. So
no.
I was having a worship fail moment. I felt like I was like 87 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're like, Riva.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, that's pretty much what it was.
What have you, what has God been teaching you in this season? What have you been like learning in those times of prayer, in those times of songwriting? That's pretty unique. You know, I wonder how many students are creatively using their gifts, you know, in this way. And I know you are. So talk a little bit about that. Like, what is God teaching you through songwriting or through prayer in this season?
Yeah, I think probably one of the biggest things is I'm learning about productivity. And I'm learning that, you know, I feel like some coach somewhere has probably told you at some point, you know, in your life that you miss all of the shots you don't take. And, you know, I think for me, that's exactly kind of what it is with songwriting or with prayer, is it's kind of like, if you don't sit down to pray, then how do you expect yourself to grow?
Yeah.
If you don't take the shot at trying to write a song, then how do you expect to ever write a song?
That's awesome.
And so with that, I think for me, it was kind of like, there have been a couple days where I've just like come up with a little jingle and there's nothing substantial at all. And it feels so unproductive. And it feels like I sat there and played guitar for an hour. Great. Like nothing came out of it.
Right.
You know, nothing lasting came out of it. And then I think about it and it's like, well, did nothing lasting come out of it? I got to sit and play my guitar for an hour, you know, like that's good.
Right.
That's good in of itself. When do I get to do that? You know?
That's good.
And so, and I think that's part of it, is just kind of not looking at life in this way that says, in order for my spiritual life to be on the top, I have to have a product at the end of it. Sometimes we read the Bible and it feels enlightening and we feel like, oh my gosh, I just spent some time with God and I feel like I'm on a mountaintop and everything just changed. Like my whole perspective was just blown. And other times you read the Bible and you think, I've read that 1,000 times before and I literally could have quoted it for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I learned, you know?
Right.
And that's the nature of spiritual discipline, you know? It's just the nature of it.
That's great.
So I think it's still a learning, you know?
He froze.
Writing songs and praying for 30 years. I'm not there.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, I'm back.
You're back.
Anyway, I've been praying for like 30 years and yet still, you know, it's still learning for me.
That's awesome. And I think that's something that I have been learning in this time as well. Like kind of back to back, like why am I only doing things that I can show for at the end of it? Like, you know, I'm only trying to do something if there's a product at the end of it, or if there's like a post at the end of it, or something that I can say, look what I did. And so really trying to peel back the layers of like why I desire that so much. And then, same thing with productivity. Like what is good work mean in this time? Because I've found that I'm overproductive at home. I have been working more than I ever have ever. So I have had to find a balance because I'm overproductive because I'm trying to produce the you know, the video or the this or that, whatever. So it's been a fun balance. And I think that, you know, I'm going to take a lot of this out of this season with me. A lot of the work-life stuff, a lot of the productivity stuff. It's huge, man. When can we expect to hear some of these tunes, Michael?
Oh man. Well, we've got 4 of them that have just been sitting there. We're trying to find the right release for it. Right now I've been talking with both Tavia and Rachel a lot about releasing Constant.
Good song.
That one just feels kind of appropriate for, to be honest, they all kind of almost feel like they have a new life in this season. They were all written towards revival, and in this season, more than any I can think of, we need revival.
Right.
You know, we need the Lord to kind of revive our hearts and remind us of his goodness. So it feels like in some ways I've been singing the songs recently, or I hear Mylan yelling it at the top of her lungs. And I just think to myself, like, oh, wow, these songs almost have a new life in the season. Maybe the Lord really wanted them to be released post this or during or post this season because they would have more impact that way. So
that's rad.
That being said, we are currently talking about what a release looks like right now, because we don't have all the resource that we had before to create cool videos and make it look awesome.
Right.
But at the same time, the heart is still there to get songs out for people. To sing to God. So that being said, we're talking right now about what it would look like to release constant in the next soon.
Whoa. You heard it here first.
And then from there, we'll try to figure out what we do with the rest of the songs. And then the ones that I've been writing, I don't know how long that'll take. We'll see. It's been a fun process. I don't know how many of those will make the cut, how many of those will flounder into nothingness, but it is what it is. It's not for productivity, Hunter.
Amen, brother. Amen. Well, speaking of productivity, thank you for giving me 15 minutes of your day that I know is spent doing a lot of awesome things for our church and the worship community here. And so I'll end this how I end every quarantine conversation. I'm going to ask you, Michael, what's one thing, movie, book, TV show, podcast, game, in your case, most likely, something that's bringing you joy in quarantine that you want to tell us about so we might experience joy?
Oh, Hunter, you just opened up my heart. I just feel so ready and excited to share.
I love that. I love that. Oh. Yes.
Yeah. For those of you who here, let me just really quick. I just have to. I just have to. Okay, guys.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
This is my house.
Those are all board games.
This is my house.
And it's not even like they rotate through, right? Like you move some, like that's not all of your board games, right?
Oh no, this is all my board games, but they are like they're like double layered.
Yeah.
You can't see them all.
That's awesome.
All those ones on top are ones I'm trying to sell or throw away. All these ones are the ones I'm trying to keep.
Sanitize them, dude. You get rid of them fast.
It's a little bit of like a, I don't know. It's an obsession. I have a problem. But that being said, this game right here, it's called Detective, a modern crime board game.
You're in.
Guys, this is a wonderful game. My wife and I have been playing it. We started it last night. And if you have ever wanted to be Sherlock Holmes or a modern detective, this game is awesome.
Dude,
it's so fun.
That's awesome. The plug for Detective. I love that. What about like music, Netflix, anything like that?
Let's see, Netflix. Okay, everyone's got to say the Tiger King is obviously like, it's like the potato chips of Netflix, like you just can't stop eating it, even though it's bad for you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know like what's appropriate for high schoolers, but Hunters.
Well, Tiger King certainly isn't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, but I don't know. Tiger King still brings me joy, even that blonde mullet. It just gets me every time.
Oh boy.
Hunters. It's again not appropriate for high schoolers, so
Great.
Don't watch it. But it's about Nazi killers, which is kind of cool.
Okay, we're in.
Yeah. Anyway, and then I've just been like reading some podcasts lately.
Cool.
I'm sorry, not podcasts. What do you call it? Hey, you still there?
I'm still here.
Hold on. Sorry.
There you go.
Reading articles
cool.
And just from different church leaders and I've been watching some Instagram lives of different worship leaders.
Nice. That's rad. That's so sick. Love that.
I don't know. Board games. That's a definite strong one for you guys.
I'll look into Detective. That's fun. Megan and I we play Ticket to Ride. Just 1v1. It's fun, but I think we need something new.
Okay, I gotta give one more.
One more. Give it to me.
One more. Okay. Look up a game called Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Okay.
Quacks of Quedlinburg. It's a push your luck game where you don't want to you can explode like a pot that you're making like this big soup in. You can explode it if you put too many ingredients in it.
Okay.
But so you don't want to push too hard or else you're going to explode your pot.
Love it.
But it is like you're just fist clenched the entire time.
You're stressed. Whoa. Getting a phone call. That was funny. So
there you go.
What's it called? Something of Quedlin?
Quacks.
The Quacks
of Quedlinburg.
The Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Quedlinburg is a town in Germany.
Oh.
And these are you're a quack who is making a I don't know, a soup, stew. I don't know what it would be. Like a potion. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah.
A pot, a stew, a potion, whatever. Something you eat, something you take, get powers or something. I don't know. Well, Michael, thank you so much for jumping in. I'm glad we were able to do this. We've been playing ping pong with the schedule, so I'm glad I was able to get you, man. Thank you. I miss you. I miss hanging out with you and going to lunch with you, and I can't wait for this all to be over when the beaches are open again.
Yeah, we got to hit some waves. Dude, Hunter, I just got to say something today. Right before we end here. Right now, I need to tell you this. I was in the shower today. I was thinking about this time, and I just thought to myself, Hunter Babcock is literally one of my favorite people.
Oh, Michael, that's I'm very touched. That's very kind.
I you to hear that because it is a joy to spend some time with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. And it is a joy to hear from you and see you. Give your best to my family, your family. Give your best to my family. Give my best to your family.
That too. Yeah, that too.
Yeah. All right, bud. Have a good one.
All right, man. See you later.